In 2009, a woman from Rotterdam, Netherlands came to the hospital complaining of stomach ache. Her x-ray later revealed an astonishing 78 pieces of cutlery in her stomach. Surgeons were left in disbelief as they discovered that the woman had been consuming forks and spoons instead of food during her meals, due to what was described as some kind of obsession. In a critical condition, she underwent surgery to remove the foreign objects. The medical team painstakingly extracted each piece of cutlery from her stomach one by one. Although she was diagnosed with a borderline personality disorder that triggered her unusual eating behavior, she could not provide a reason as to why she never consumed knives. This teenager slipped on an icy school floor in China and landed forward onto a hook which embedded in his eye. A school handyman sawed the hook off the wall to free the lad, leaving 5 centimeters metal sticking out of his head. The surgeon who removed the object said the hook pierced his skull but was turned to the side by the impact. Any movement would have sent it into his brain and he could have died on the spot. The teen lost his eye but was very lucky to be alive. When a Chinese man began complaining of stomach pains, the man was forced to seek medical help by family and friends and taken to a nearby hospital. When medical staff quizzed him on the pain, he claimed he did not know what was causing his discomfort. But he suddenly remembered what had happened when staff presented him with clear x-rays showing a bottle and wire inside of him. He admitted inserting the bottle at home before it became stuck and said he used a curved piece of steel wire in an attempt to get it back out in a moment of panic. A woman from India had been throwing up after every meal for 2 months. When she finally went to the doctor's office, they took an x-ray and spotted something you don't expect to find inside a person's stomach, a 1.5 kilogram mass of metal. There were necklaces, anklets, rings, earrings, watches, and 90 coins. Her family said they'd noticed some pieces of jewelry had been mysteriously disappearing from her brother's store, but they definitely didn't imagine where they'd eventually find them. This construction worker accidentally had nail gun fire 8 centimeters nails into his face. Somehow, miraculously, he recovered completely. A woman in China was cooking in her kitchen when she suddenly found herself unable to breathe. When she couldn't clear her airway by any conventional means, she decided to do the unthinkable and crammed a 30 centimeters long spatula down her throat. The spatula then got stuck in her throat and the woman almost died. Fortunately, the woman's 4-year-old daughter managed to get her help. Doctors removed the spatula but failed to find the source of her original breathing problem. What could be the worst-case scenario in a surgery? The possibility that the surgery is unsuccessful or that infection caught on and there's nothing else that can be done. Well, how about discovering a pair of scissors inside your body, left there by the surgeon? That's exactly what happened to an Australian woman when she had an abdominal surgery in St. George's Hospital. She only discovered its presence almost 2 years later when the surgical scissors painfully protruded from her abdomen. The hospital later apologized for the mistake, and she filed a case against the surgeon. A man from Hunan province in China was on his way home when he was struck by a pair of fire tongs, which penetrated the back of his skull and came out of his forehead. The tongs had been thrown by a man who was chasing a stray dog that had stolen a piece of bacon. After the incident, the man was rushed to hospital where doctors operated to remove the tongs. The surgeon later said that the fire tongs were only a tiny space away from the neck artery, which could have cost the man his life. Luckily, the surgery went successfully and the man recovered from his injuries. In a prison in Pakistan, an inmate woke up with an uneasy sensation, and when x-rayed, the doctors found a light bulb stuffed up his backside. Doctors brought the man's misery to an end after an 1.5-hour operation to remove the object intact, because had the bulb been broken inside, it would have been a very complicated situation. The inmate, who was serving a 4-year sentence for making liquor prohibited for Muslims, said he was shocked when he was first told the cause of his discomfort. He swore he didn't know the bulb was there and how it even got there. The doctor treating the man said he'd never encountered anything like it before and doubted the felon's story that someone had drugged him and inserted the bulb while he was comatose. A baby in Kentucky accidentally stuck keys into his eye after he fell into them. The car keys penetrated the boy's eyelid and even reached his brain. Fortunately, while doctors initially believed that the object had ruptured his eyeball, another team of specialists later confirmed that the boy had sustained no permanent damage. This historical X-ray shows the foot of a soldier that served in the Boer War, fought from October 11, 1899 to May 31, 1902 between British Army and the Boers in South Africa. The bullet lodged between the bones of the big and second toes appears to have caused no real damage, as the bullet has not broken any bones. It's thought the upper part of the toes that looked deformed were actually damaged from marching in tight army boots. After a fall, which left this man thoroughly impaled from back to chest by a standing bar, co-workers quickly sawed the bar free from the concrete and took the man to the hospital, where he miraculously recovered from his injuries. The builder became impaled on the bar after tripping and falling off an 8-foot-high scaffolding platform in China. Although this looks like a handgun, it is actually a lighter. The doctors who operated on this female inmate also found a glass crack pipe and rubber tubing. This 69-year-old man from China showed up at the hospital rather nonchalantly, insisting that he hammered nails into his skull himself and to not bother calling the police. X-rays revealed that he had 3 long nails hammered into the top of his head. Despite the claim, the doctors believed the crime was perpetrated by someone else. Doctors had to carefully remove the nails, and the man spent around 3 months recovering in hospital before being discharged. He has made a full recovery without any lasting problems. An 8-year-old girl from Indiana swallowed 10 magnets and 20 steel balls from a Magnetix toy set. The magnets and balls attracted one another within her digestive tract, ripping a total of 8 holes in her intestines and forcing her parents to rush her to the hospital for emergency surgery. The child later said that she had swallowed the magnets and steel balls because they looked like candy. The girl's father told reporters he didn't understand how his daughter could have consumed the parts because she got A's and B's, and they taught her not to do stuff like that. He said he and his wife were in the same room as their daughter in their home when she consumed the items, and they didn't even realize it. He said they rushed her to the hospital 2 days later when she began experiencing pain so severe she could barely stand up. The doctors told him his daughter was lucky to be alive, and the girl went home after spending 2 weeks in a hospital. A Chinese woman went to the hospital because she had chronic rhinitis and was suffering from headaches and breathing issues. An exploratory X-ray, however, revealed a metal object lodged in her head by her nostril. Doctors used an endoscope to remove it and were shocked to discover that the metallic object was a bullet. She then remembered back 48 years ago to when she was 14 and walking along a path. The woman felt a stinging pain in her right temple and started to bleed. She thought she'd been hit by a pebble, so her family cleaned her up, bandaged the wound, and it eventually closed up. Apparently, she was shot. In a freak accident, a construction worker from California was impaled by this 18-inch long drill after he fell from a ladder and landed on the drill head first. The rod went into his eye socket and out the back of his head, behind his right ear. The worker thought he was going to die, but was lucky he only lost an eye and no permanent damage was sustained. Had the bit gone towards the apex of the eye socket, he wouldn't have been alive. The surgeons had to remove the object by unscrewing the bit after noticing that it was loose.